What's up, family? How y'all doing? I know y'all live on YouTube. You're now live on Facebook. I'm trying to get this camera situated, but YouTube. I don't know about that camera. Y'all look a little crazy right about now. Let me see if I can lower this a little bit more. Yeah, I think that's it. So as the family starts to come on through, y'all take your time because I got my notes. I hope you guys go ahead and get your pen and paper because y'all going to look up everything. Y'all not going to just take my word for what I'm about to say. Y'all going to do your own research because that's how we do. I like to deliver the information. I like you to do your own research because in this community, we are a community of critical thinkers. So good evening to every last one of you. It's your girl, Dr. Shauna. I am energized. I am lit. I'm sorry I wasn't on earlier. I wanted to be. However, I got caught up in some of my guilty pleasures and I was watching a show on Netflix called Glitch. And I've been like glued into there trying to get to season after season. And today I finished everything. Very interested, but I'm here. Peace. How you doing, family on YouTube? How you doing, family on Facebook? To my moderators on YouTube, as always, I want to thank you guys for just being there for me. I want to thank you guys for just monitoring that chat room. Again, people can have their opinion as long as they are respectful. They can have their opinion, but when they start getting rude and nasty, we get to cutting them off. So you can go ahead and block them, delete them, whatever you want to do, take away their typing privileges, whatever it is that you do when you're in, go ahead and do it. If they're having an opinion and it's just an opinion, okay, but if they're attacking people and being nasty, get rid of them. In this topic today, we're going to talk about the Target commercial. And I know some of you guys are not aware of what happened with the Target commercial, but we're going to speak about the Target commercial. I'm going to give you guys some information that you need to know in order for you to follow the story. On YouTube, I've already posted about this, and we already seen that a lot of our angry white people started to come up in the YouTube, and that's to be expected because just like Dr. Robin DiAngelo says, there's white fragility, and I already explained to you guys at the last video what white fragility is. But just in case some people forgot, let me try to just make mention again what white fragility is because we're going to see some of that tonight. And I don't want you guys to get distracted because I've noticed from my own observation when white people become upset and they become angry, most of the time they are ignorant as to what's going on, so they're not informed. They don't have the necessary information that they need to engage in helpful, critical discourse. So instead, they start acting out and calling people's names and saying that there is no more racism and that we are the ones who are divisive because they want to live in a colorblind society, because when they live in a colorblind society, they don't have to take accountability for some of the mean, nasty, belligerent things that some of the people that identify as white do, right? So this is not anything personal, so I just want you guys to know on my YouTube channel that you're going to have some people come up and they're going to say some nasty things because I already saw it earlier today. You can just go ahead and block those people. If white people, if you're on and you're listening and you want to listen to learn, get a pen and paper. Just go ahead and get a pen and paper and learn. The audience that I'm speaking to is, of course, my family. That's who I'm speaking to, but you're more than welcome to sit in the course as long as you are respectful and you are quiet. Right? So that's all I want to say. Hello to everybody. Wa alaikum assalam. Hello to everybody. I want you to, one of my brothers to give me the greeting. Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum assalam. So to everybody, I want you guys to have your pen and paper. That's what I asked. I also asked for you guys to share the video. Don't worry, the language for the most part will be clean. I might say some things, but you ain't gonna get fired from your job. You ain't gonna get in trouble because this is an educational video, right? So you're not gonna get in trouble if you share this video. And don't worry, I won't out you. No one would know that you secretly are pissed off and angry and enraged like all of us. No one's gonna know that you hold some of those feelings as well. You can just go ahead and share the video. You don't have to say anything at all. So there you have it. Hello to you too, Mike Armstrong. Hi to you too, Yolanda Dorch. Peace to all my sisters and brothers. I'm so excited to be here because I'm so excited to give you guys the scoop on Target because they are some sneaky little devils. Oh my God, they are so sneaky. And the homegirl from the commercial, from the Honey Pot, I believe her business is Honey Pot. Correct me if I'm wrong, YouTube and Facebook, but I believe the business is the Honey Pot that is now in Target on the shelves. She was set up. She was set up. She was set up by Target, and I'm not even sure if the sister knows why she has been given the pleasure of being in Target's commercial with her products for all the people to buy it. So I know some people like to think when they get these kind of opportunities that they were just unique and special and they worked really hard and they're reaping all the rewards of their hard work because they are on the shelves of Target. And I know that people like that love to think that it's because of their hard work. And I congratulate the sister. I am happy the sister is on the shelves of Target. I suggest all of you guys go ahead and support her product. Go in there and buy things and let your daughter see what this sister has been doing. But as long as you do it with knowledge and intention. Because we got a lot of people out there getting their manumission papers and they really do think that they're getting off the plantation. They really do think that things are changing and things are looking up and they're in a much better condition and situation than their ancestors were, and they made it and now they're big dogs and they're going to be rich. But sisters and brothers, I'm here to report to you that nothing has changed in America. The demon is still the same. The only thing that has changed about the demon is the body that it has possessed. That is the only thing that has changed. So I want you guys to prove me wrong because I'm going to give you guys all your research and we're going to draw some conclusions. So go ahead with your pen and paper. And again, let me just go ahead and read to my white audience what white fragility is so they can learn how to just sit in their discomfort, learn how to be comfortable and being uncomfortable, get the information, fact check it, and we can go ahead and have a conversation once you do your own research and you know how to have critical discourse. But until then, just be quiet, sit in the corner, and listen. So white fragility, once again, is a state in which a minimum amount of racial stress becomes intolerable, triggering a range of defensive moves. So sisters and brothers, if we have them in our audience and they're bold enough to speak, they're going to get defensive because this conversation is going to be heavy. And they're not going to be able to tolerate it, just like a vampire cannot tolerate garlic. The devil cannot tolerate the truth. They cannot tolerate conversations that are centered on race and racism here in America. So let's go ahead and get started, my sisters and brothers. Oh my gosh. This is going to be so exciting. So, everybody's up and raw about this commercial. So this black woman, I think her name is Beatrice Nixon. I'm not too sure. Somebody please, one of my sisters and brothers, let me know what is the name of the owner of the Honey Pot, because I did not write her name down. I read about her article, and of course, I was happy for her, and then I went to do my research. I think her name is Beatrice Nixon, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, she was in a Target commercial where she's walking through the store with what looks to be family members or maybe supporters of her, and she has her products on the shelf of Target, and she is basically saying that this is a great opportunity for her, and she wants other black little girls to be able to see the product on the shelf as well so that they can know that they can do it too. And once she did this commercial, white women went crazy. Do y'all hear me? Yeah, it's very important that we are able to follow these things without the emotion. Don't put the emotion in it. White women went crazy. They went to her Facebook page and they started to attack her on Facebook and was calling this woman a racist and saying that she should have said that she is happy that her products are on the shelf for all girls to be able to see that they too can do it. So you know how it is. The minute you say black women, black girls, black men, black people, the minute you say anything black, white people get very angry and upset, and they want you to erase the word black and replace it with all. And so this woman did this commercial. They went crazy, and then we all started talking about it. But no, not me. I said, ooh, because I know how marketing works. I know how scripts work. I know how these television shows work, because I've been solicited a number of times to be on a show. And so they give you a script, and you have to read the script. So they have a whole marketing team that comes up with everything that you're going to say, because they have a target market that they're trying to reach. That's how marketing works. That's how commercials work. Trust me, I know it. I don't do well at scripts. And I damn sure don't do well with keeping my mouth shut. So nothing seems to come into fruition for what I do. People drop me like a bad habit because I speak truth to power, and that doesn't make the money wheel comfortable, because the goal is to make money off of you. And if you're going to jeopardize people's money, they're not going to do business with you. So they wrote a script, and the woman from the honey pop followed the script. And white people got angry. But let me tell you why white people need to really be on this video so they can do their own research. Because they're getting angry at this sister who maybe she's not even aware that she's part of Target's lawsuit. Oh, y'all heard me right. Y'all heard me right. This sister did nothing wrong. She just did what they told her to do because she's been working hard on her product. Her product is finally on the shelves of the retail stores, and she wants to be a success just like anybody else on the shelves of the retail stores are successes. She wants to be a success, and she's happy and she's proud and she's following the script, not knowing that a lawsuit was filed back in 2002 by the EEOC that now requires Target to stop being racist and discriminatory. I said it. Let me give y'all the facts. So here it is. I want y'all to know. You gotta go look it up. So it goes back to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I think that's what Milwaukee is, as well as Madison. So back in December, right before 2008 came in, back in December 2007, Target finally settled their lawsuit. What happened? People? The U.S. District Judge Rudolph T. Randa, you gotta look him up. The U.S. District Judge Rudolph T. Randa, what he did was he finally signed a consent decree ending a lawsuit. And that lawsuit was filed by the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, that is the EEOC. And they filed this lawsuit against Target. And what the EEOC filed on was because they realized that Target violated Title VIII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. And they failed to hire African Americans in District 110. And District 110 is found in Milwaukee as well as Madison, Wisconsin. And they failed to hire African Americans because they based it on race. If you were black, they were not trying to hire you in any entry-level management positions in those stores. And not only did they fail to hire black people, they purposely acted in bad faith and destroyed all records. Now, let me tell you what they were doing. You see, this is why we got to stop being excited over stuff, because we honestly really do think that the opportunity doors just really open for us, and we walk through it because of our good looks, our intelligence, and our hard work. Let me tell y'all something. I keep telling you all the time that we are on one big chessboard. And you have to know how to play the game because they're going to make the moves based on what is going to benefit us. And unfortunately, we're always moving our pawns, and our pawns don't do nothing but get eaten up by the system. That is it. Our pawns get eaten up by the system, and they have no idea that they on a chessboard because they're so used to playing checkers. So you can't enter the game of chess with a checkers mindset. And that's why we get so excited about things. We're like, oh my God, the honey pot. Oh, she's on the shelf. I'm going to run out and buy black. Please do that. Please run out and support the sister. I don't want anybody to shut down her business. Please run out and support the system, especially since these devils are on her like white on rice. But I want you to know there is no benevolence with Target. There is no benevolence with Target. This is not a good cause. This is a cause that had to come by federal law. Do you understand me? Do you understand me? So let me go ahead. Let me go on with this. So the litigation lasted 6 years. 6 years. The original lawsuit by the EEOC was filed back in 2002. And Target has since agreed to pay 4 people for a total sum of $510,000. So Target had to pay out $500,000 to 4 people because they were practicing discrimination. They were practicing institutionalized systematic racism. That's what they were practicing. And they got caught. They got caught. So I want to give a big fat shout out. Let me give you guys the names of the people that sued Target, so you can go ahead and look it up yourself. I want to give a big fat shout out to Kalisha White. Yes, baby, the names are all in the lawsuit. Y'all can go find all this information. See, we just sit down and just do our research and just take our time. We will see that everything we get excited about is all scripted. It is all scripted. It is up to us to follow the bouncing ball. It is up to us to set our emotions down and say, I wonder why. I always tell my critical thinking community, the only question I want y'all to ask is why. And when they answer it, you ask why again. And you keep on asking why until the list has been exhausted. Because there, my brothers and sisters, you will find the answers. So let's give a big shout out to Kalisha White. Let's give a big shout out to Raphael Edgston Brown. Let's give a fat shout out to Sharice Brown Easley. And let's give a big fat shout out to James Daniels Jr. Those 4 people were brave enough, sisters and brothers, and go to the EEOC in 2002 because they knew something was happening in Milwaukee. They were smart enough to say, this ain't right. This ain't right. We got the credentials. We got the education. We got the experience. This ain't right. Why are we not getting hired? They were brave enough to say, I don't care how this makes me look. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to stay focused. And I'm going to take it all the way up. Oh, but it gets juicier than that. It gets juicier than that. It gets juicier than the fact that they were denied jobs back in 2000 and 2001. It gets juicier than that. Let me tell you what happens. Whew, Lord Jesus. As a result of this lawsuit, the court has also put stipulations in place for Target. Oh, we're going to get into the stipulations. Oh, Lord. Y'all ain't ready for this. I hope y'all really got your pen and paper. I hope y'all really got your pen and paper because the stipulations is what's going to help you guys to understand why we're going to see more and more commercials like the honey pot. Why we're going to see more and more ads and advertisement and blogs and Target acting like they like black people. I am going to show you what the stipulations say. So the stipulation says that they had to revise its document retention policies. So what does that mean? That means you can't be shredding documents and you cannot be throwing resumes in the file, in the garbage, because you said, oh, okay, let me see. Oh, her name is Shauna Etienne. It sounds pretty black to me. Pfft, throw it in the garbage. Her name is Jolanda Thompson. Sounds like a Negro to me. Throw it in the garbage. Oh, whoa, whoa. Well, how do you pronounce that? Ooh, Shaquasia? Gregory Shaquasia. Don't matter to me. Throw it in the garbage. Target can't do that anymore. So they had to change the policies, how they handle that. They have to provide trainings. This is how they always do it, right? Always got to provide trainings to supervisors on employment discrimination, record keeping, and they have to report all hiring decisions. And last but not least, they have to hang the notice of the decree, the court order, in District 110. So their stores in the District 110 in Milwaukee and Madison, they have to hang the decree that say basically we got sued and these are the things that we have to do. Not only did they have to do that, they have created a diversity and inclusion department. They have been working to meet their commitments to hire Black people in manager positions, to diversify their boards. They have been working to bring on suppliers from Blacks, women, gays. Oh, we're going to get into all of this. They have been doing all that they need to do so that they won't have to get another lawsuit. See, I always tell my sisters and brothers, y'all wasting your goddamn time if you want to keep on arguing and telling people to boycott this. And boy, it ain't never going to work. What you need to do is sue people. Sue people. Sue these corporations. And that's why when they start getting on social media, making racist comments and attacking us because we want our rights, we want our due respect, and they're just tired of hearing us say stuff. That's why when you start to see them post things, because they're not smart. So when you see them post things, you need to go write down all those names. You need to go to their sites. Right there on Facebook, you need to go to their sites. You need to screenshot things. You got to find out where they work because they might be working for one of these large corporations, and you got to put it out there. And hopefully somebody will recognize who they are, and hopefully somebody's been under their supervision or denied a job by these racist, crazy people that start to attack us on social media. Hopefully we'll do that. We can file EEOC lawsuits, right? Because this is the results of a lawsuit. Oh, but it gets juicier. It gets juicier from that. So I want you to know that even though the U.S. District Judge signed that decree, and even though Target settled on that lawsuit and paid out $510,000, it wasn't without a fight. See, you got to understand how white supremacy works. See, we always telling our sisters and brothers on social media to be on code, meaning stand for each other no matter what. We got to chastise people behind closed doors, right? I'm not saying you can't call people out. You can call people out, but we got to be careful with how we're doing it because we are in the fish tank, aka the fish bowl, and everybody is watching us. You see, the one thing about them, let me show you. I'm about to show y'all. Get your pen and paper. The one thing about them is that they stay on code. You see, the judge in Milwaukee initially dismissed the claim. See, y'all heard me. Let me show you. I'm about to show y'all how white supremacy works. I'm about to show y'all how institutional racism works. I'm about to show you guys how systemic racism works. You got to pay attention. Follow the bouncing ball. The dude dismissed the original suit. Was like, now, I don't see no discrimination. Nothing is wrong. Whatever. No, because that's what they do. They're all in cahoots. They all in bed with each other. But in 2006, there was a unanimous decision by the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Seventh Circuit Court. And that court is in Chicago. So the Seventh Circuit Court upheld the appeal in Chicago. See, y'all got to write that down. What city did I just say? I'm going to show y'all because y'all got to learn how to play chess. Chicago. Write Chicago on a paper and put a star by it and circle that bad boy and put a question mark and say, what is Dr. Shauna trying to say? Because I'm going to tell you, because I want you to go back and answer that question. So it's important for you to know that the U.S. Court of Appeals in the 7th Circuit in Chicago overturned the decision and said, no. Judge Randa, that's in Milwaukee, right? Judge Randa over there in Milwaukee talking about there is no case and you siding with Target. Your dismissal is overturned. Ain't going to happen. And then the courts in Chicago ruled that it should go to trial. We have enough evidence here, they said. So the EEOC, according to the appeals court, submitted enough evidence. And they found out that Target refused to hire black people, African Americans, at the entry level. They refused to hire. They destroyed the applications of bad faith, and they changed the policies related to record retention. So this is what the courts in Chicago discovered and then overturned it and said Target has to stand trial. Target, with their chess move, said, no. We're not standing trial. We're going to go ahead and settle. Here's $510,000. We're going to get your asses on the back end. That's what Target said. I'm going to prove to you that Target said. I'm going to prove to you. Just follow me. Target was like, oh, so you think it's cute. So Chicago, you think you're doing big things. Okay. All right. We're going to pay you $510,000 because $510,000 is like a bag of chips. It's nothing to us. Your people need us. We're going to remember you. We're going to remember you. You will not get the last laugh. You will not see the end of it. You just wait. See, that's what they do. That's what they do. And you got to be aware of how it happens. You see, we can't be emotionally reactive people. We be like, oh, all right, so you you think you're coming for us? I'm coming blazing. That's how we are. But no, these sneaky little devils, they know how to sit and wait for years because they're gonna get every last one of us back. See, we may have walked away with $510,000, right? We may have walked away with that, but they're always gonna find a way to retaliate. Okay, let me take y'all back. Let me take your wheel back, really far back. Before I go into the rest of it, because I'm going to give y'all everything. Let's go back to the days of my greatest ancestor, my mentor from the grave, Ida B. Wells. Okay, let me tell y'all. Because I know some of y'all don't know about Ida B. Wells, but that's my mentor from the grave. So, you know, that's my great auntie in my head. But let me tell you about Ida B. Wells. Now, remember, before there was ever Rosa Parks, and shout out to our ancestor Rosa Parks, right? Before there was ever a Rosa Parks, there was an Ida B. Wells. And she was on the train, and they told her to get out this car because this car is not for you, and she refused to leave. They kicked her off the train. She later turned around and sued. She won, and then they went to appeal it and took the money back, basically, that they were supposed to pay her, right? Basically, in a nutshell. That's how they operate. You see, you're not supposed to win. You're not supposed to win. You see, the system cannot be beat by you. Oh, no. Oh, no. See, we think that these small wins means we're getting somewhere. But Target has proven that the ball stays in their court. And we may have took a two-shotter and made that hoop. But at the end of the day, it wasn't enough to win the game. I'm going to prove it to y'all. Just listen. Just keep your pen and paper and listen. Now, the appeals court decision was authored by a circuit judge named Richard D. Cudahy, I guess, back in August 23rd, 2006. And the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, their attorneys, James Tucker and Lorraine Davis, is the one who won that decision in the appeals, right? Now, what we found out was from Chicago, John Rowe, he's the director of EEOC. You got to know these things. Look him up. Write the name down. Look it up. Follow the bouncing ball. It's all going to make sense. I promise you. John Rowe, who was the director of EEOC in Chicago, what he said publicly was that he was happy that Target pretty much lost this lawsuit, at least on the surface. Because the lawsuit is precedent. It sets precedent for future lawsuits. And this is why that situation that happened or that's ongoing with Byron Allen, while we has been saying, regardless of how you feel about his personal life don't concern me. The reason why we are rallying behind him, because when anything goes to court, it sets precedent. That is a chess move. That's how you do it. Because you want the law to be on your side, our side. You want the law to be on our side because we know what's up. We have a lived experience. We wear this skin every day. And whether we like to admit it or not, we are faced with discrimination, racism, microaggressions, cultural bias, implicit bias. We are faced with these things every single day. Every single day. And some of us, clearly not me, but some of us are afraid to speak up because we know the consequences of speaking up. And that's why these 4 sisters and brothers that I said I want to give a big fat shout out to them, I'm happy that they spoke up. I'm happy that they said I'm fighting the system because it's going to require that much. It's going to require us to say no matter what, we're going to fight because we are on one big chessboard. And the minute we lie down, the minute we take it in the butt with no Vaseline, we lose. I know that's a disgusting phrase, but it's something that, we say around here. We lose. We lose. We lose all the time. You gotta fight. You gotta fight. It's not going to be easy, but we have to do it. And we have to get into the habit of taking these things to court. Taking them to court. Because a win for one is a win for all. And Target did not want this to set the precedent. You know why? Because now we have a lawsuit that says these are the things that happened. We founded this on discrimination, racism, bias, prejudice. It violates the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Something has to be done. And now we can start suing more corporations. So he had made this comment. He helped make this comment. This is John Rowe out of Chicago. Then you had Dennis McBride, who led the EEOC in Milwaukee. His comment was, this will help ensure all Target applicants receive full consideration. So everybody is happy. Everybody is thinking that they got to win. We got this in the bag. We won. It sets the precedent for more lawsuits and laws to be in place. And we're going to keep on fighting. And I'm happy they did that. I'm happy to do that. But let me tell you guys what Target did. Because I sat down and I said, this is nice. I like what's going on here. We got the EEOC chair, Naomi C. Earp, something like that is her name. She launched a program called E-Race. And E-Race stands for Eradicating Racism and Colorism from Employment. So everybody is jumping on this bandwagon. And E-Race is a national outreach education and enforcement campaign focusing on new and emerging race and color issues in the 21st century workplace. So everybody knows that as a result of this lawsuit, more companies are going to start getting sued. As a result of this lawsuit and others like it, more people are going to get the education, they're going to get the strength, they're going to get the tenacity to fight these corporations. But let me tell you how these corporations move. Ooh, Lord. Because I said something ain't right here. This seems like too easy. So I kept digging and I kept digging and I kept digging. And what I found out, that back in 2002, y'all better write this down. Don't believe me. And where's my Chicago people? Where's my Chicago people? Because you know something, my Chicago people, if I'm lying, I'm flying. I need y'all to let me know where you at. Let me see if I got any Chi-Town people in here. You know? Oh my God. So y'all gotta let me know. Where's my Chicago people? Because if I'm lying, I'm flying. I'm about to tell y'all right now. I don't see y'all on Chicago. Okay, right. I got one. Okay, we got a few on there. All right now. Thank you, Geek Moms. Thank you for the donation. Hola, Queen Preacher. Thank you for that. Here we go. Here's my Chicago people. Here we go. Y'all ready, Chicago? Y'all better write this down. So here we go. I started to dig. And I found out on the south side of Chicago. Come on now. Thank you for the donation, William. William Polk, thank you for the donation. On the south side of Chicago, there was 5 Target stores. 2 of them were closed down. Oh, you better follow the bouncing ball. 2 were closed down. See, back in 2002, one was open, and then 6 years later in 2008, another one was open. The lawsuit was initially filed in 2002. The lawsuit took approximately 6 years. It wasn't quite 6 years. It was 1 month shy of being 6 years or something like that. But in 2007, Target settled on the lawsuit. A year later, the second Target store that I'm talking about opened. So where are the stores, or where were the stores located? So you heard me say, where were they located? Follow the bouncing ball. One was located in Chatham, Chicago South Side, and the other one was located in Morgan Park. Let me show y'all how slick white supremacy is. See, we thought we had a win. We did, we do. We got to win, but we got to know how to use it now. Because like I said, this is a chessboard. We have to know how to use it because they're playing chess and they're playing to win. The lawsuit was settled in 2007. So 2007 is now 13 years ago. In 2019, they decided to close both the Chatham and the Morgan Park stores. One was open from 2002 to 2019. That would be a total of how many years? 17 years. 17 years. Almost 2 decades. But you closed it, taking away jobs of over 110 people. You took away their jobs. Boom. Just like that. And then the other one that opened in 2008 was closed at the same time in 2019. Both of them. Now that one is 11 years, over a decade. So one almost 2 decades old. The other one 1 decade old. And they closed both of them in 2019. But they left the other 3 open in Chicago South Side. And that's in McKinley Park. That's in Archer Heights. And that is in Hyde Park. Why does this matter? So y'all already know how I am. I said, ooh, Chicago. Didn't I tell y'all to circle the word Chicago, put stars on it and around it, put some question marks and said, Dr. Sharna, why are you asking about Chicago? Didn't I tell y'all that 2 of the EEOCs were out of Chicago with those comments that they was making, that they were happy that this lawsuit is good, that they won it, and it sets precedent for other lawsuits, and that Target and other companies cannot discriminate on people no more? Didn't I tell you those 2 was from Chicago? Oh. But didn't I also tell you that the appeals court, the 7th Circuit Appeals Court, that said, judge in Milwaukee, stop all that white supremacy stuff. Take it to trial. Overturn. There's a case here. Didn't I tell you that 7th Circuit was from Chicago? But that's not enough to convince you, right? I'll keep going. Because I just want you to follow the bouncing ball. I want you to know that the appeals court was in Chicago. I want you to know that major contributors to the situation from the EEOC gave commentary from Chicago. I want you to know that Chatham, Chicago, the South Side, is approximately 96.9% black. I want you to know that Morgan Park, Chicago's South Side, is roughly 80% black. I want you to know that McKinley Park in Chicago's South Side is roughly 50% white and 1.11% black. 1% black and 18% Asian. See, I want you to know that Archer Heights, Chicago's South Side, is roughly 53% white. Roughly. Now, those stats could have changed. Those stats could have gotten higher by now. But roughly 53% white. And 0.74, not even 1%, less than 1% black. I want you to know that Hyde Park in Chicago, the South Side, is roughly 47% white. 30% roughly black. But white is the majority. See, I want you to know that they closed the stores in Chicago's South Side that was serving black communities. See, I want you to know that in those areas where the stores closed, there isn't a booming retail business there. And Target brought in traffic. Target brought in people. They were even given major tax incentives to keep the store open. See, I want you to know how chess works. You don't keep a store open for 2 decades and then say they're not, it had nothing to do with race. It's about performance. Performance on what? But you don't provide any information. You don't provide any documentation. You see, your PR rep can get on television and say anything. And as long as you're not providing the documentation and the proof, anything that you say is golden. But we know the difference. We know what the truth is. You see, they waited. They waited. And they said, oh, so the circuit judge thought it was cool to get his little greasy hands in our situation in Milwaukee. See, the circuit judge thought he was cool to say the EEOC had a case. You see, the 4 people who didn't get jobs, they think they won. But y'all just ruined it for over 230 employees who live in your black areas of Chicago who needed opportunities. See, we just took 230 jobs away. You see, we just took food out of the children's mouths to 230 employees. You see, we just took away the opportunity to pay your bills. See, we just took away the opportunity for you to have livelihood. You see, we took away your opportunities, period, of many families. You see, that's a chess move. That right there, sisters and brothers, is a chess move. You see, we get so emotional about things. We always want to sit back and say, oh, you're always crying racism. This isn't racism. America's gotten so much better. You black people, stop complaining. You black people just never happy. You're never happy. Nothing's going to make you happy. Because no one really wants to deal with the facts at hand. Everybody want to have an emotional conversation. You see, it only took me 4 hours, tops, to get the information. Thank you so much for that donation, author Impress, Simone. Thank you so much. Thank you for the abundant blessings. It only took me but so much time to get the information. See, when you intersect information, it starts to make sense to you. You see, the only thing you have to do is keep digging. The internet was the best thing that ever happened to us. You only have to keep on digging, and you will find the information. You see, I'm happy that the sister from Honey Pot is on the shelf, and I'm no fool. You see, me not being a fool don't take anything away from her success, and I hope her success is long-lived. You see, because I don't trust the devil not one iota. Okay, you don't understand what I'm saying. Let me go back, because I'm gonna give y'all some more information, because I can tell that some of y'all don't really get it. See, y'all don't really get that in order for us to be protected, not only do I personally feel that we have to have a protective class, because I don't know what the hell an African American is, to tell you the truth. I don't even know what the hell black is, to tell you the truth. I'd rather not even call myself either one of those. But to tell you the truth, I don't know what that is, because see, everybody gets to eat off of our plate, and we're always the last one to the table. Not because we're the last ones to show up, but because everyone swarms and overwhelms us, and you got to prove this and prove that and prove that, and we don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on. And everybody's getting all the benefits, and everybody's getting the big pieces of cake, because everybody's eating off our pie. Everybody's eating our cake. And we're so afraid not to share. We're so afraid of saying no that we're like, oh, okay, all right. You want a part of our 1964 Civil Rights Act cake? Okay. Yeah, because God said, do unto others as you want done to you. So I'm going to go ahead and let you get a piece of that pie. Don't worry. Go ahead, eat. I'll take my last. Go ahead. Ain't no problem. Oh, y'all want a piece of this 1964 Civil Rights Act cake too? Oh, and we turn around, we look at our people, and it's all of us, and we hungry. We're like, don't worry, calm down. We all going to eat. We all going to eat. We won this. We got enough. We got enough to go around. We all going to eat. Go on now. Go on. Go on, immigrants. Take the pie. Go on, LGBTQ. Take the pie. Go on. Everybody else, take the pie. Everybody, go on, white woman. You under this act too. Take the pie. And we starving. Right? So I am happy for the sister. But I also understand that that's not a slice of the cake. See, it's a crumb. Trust me when I say it's a crumb. And right now, the EEOC is on their asses because there's a decree. And when you have these kind of lawsuits with decree, they're given time frames to complete these things. And they have to show that they're making changes. So everything is a show. Everything is a show. And you see, we so emotionally happy, and we react because we really do think that we're getting a piece of the pie. Not everything is a goddamn show. Everything is scripted. It is a scene. It is reality TV, and we constantly think that this stuff is real. So what am I talking about? So I told y'all that Target had to create their diversity and inclusion because they have to be able to prove to the federal government the steps that they are taking in order to mitigate these things from happening in the future. Everything is about what you show, right? If it ain't on paper, it didn't happen. Everyone knows that motto. Everyone knows it. If it ain't on paper, it didn't happen. So what they start to do is start to put things on paper. And they make it look really pretty, and they start targeting the people that the lawsuit is for. Civil Rights Act of 1964, that's a lot of us. It's no longer African American, sweetie. It's a lot of us. We all on that pie. We all on that cake. We're all on that cake. And the only people that get the crumbs is us. I'm about to prove it to you all the time. So they started to create this environment of inclusive work. So they say, you know what? Our work environments have to reflect the community in which the stores are located. So if there is X amount of black people in that community, we should have X amount of black people working in the store. Right? So we want to be inclusive. If it's X amount of handicapped people in that community, because that's part of the 1964 Act too, we got to have X amount of handicapped people in that store. If it's X amount of Hispanics in that community, we have to have X amount of Hispanics in that store. If it's X amount LGBTQ plus in that community, we have to have X amount of LGBTQ plus in that community. If it's X amount of white women in that community, we have to have X amount of white women in that community. Everybody falls under that act. Now, I'm not saying anything's wrong with that. I'm not saying anything's wrong with that. But what I am saying is that's not what that act was initially intended for. And you see, we always keep getting the bag pulled over our heads. We are in the dark and we always think that we're winning, and they have removed our sight and our ability to navigate and be mobilized all over the place. They have removed it, and every time we go, we say, excuse me. I'm a part of that 1964 Act, and I'm entitled to that piece of cake, right? And the door gets closed in our face. Go on, you always complaining, you little negress. Always complaining, you little Negroes. Get on out of here. Ain't nobody got nothing for you. Always go, ain't never happy. Y'all ain't never happy. That's what happens. So they got to ensure that it's a diverse workplace. They have to leverage their influence to drive positive impact in society. This is what their website said. They're creating an environment to leverage their influence. That means all of their money, their power. That's what their influence is. You see, when you can open up stores in a community and decide you're just going to shut it down, after you put all this money in to orchestrate the store, develop the store, hire all these people, you just start overnight. We're just going to shut this sucker down. Because we can do that. Means nothing. We'll get money. Someone else get money. That's how they are. They don't care. So that's what influence looks like. That's what power looks like. That's what wealth looks like. That's what an institution looks like. That's what a corporation looks like. When you have that amount of power that you can impact a whole community of people, and you can decide if they work or they go on an unemployment line. If they work or they go back to welfare. You can decide if that happens. See, that's what institutional racism is. That's what systemic injustice is. So all the little fragile white people on the honeypot's page calling her a racist, I beckon you to sit down and do some research so you can broaden your vocabulary, because you are using the word incorrectly, and there is no goddamn thing called reverse discrimination or reverse racism. So stop it. And all the silly black people that keep using that same language who don't know any better either, you guys need to sit down and do some research. Because the honeypot don't have the capabilities to impact the community of people and take away their opportunities. The honeypot cannot decide who eats and who doesn't. But Target can. Walmart can. Best Buy can. AMC movie theaters can. Sony can. Samsung can. You name all these big corporations that are eating off of our pockets. All of those corporations can. They can. The Piggly Wiggly can. ShopRite can. They can decide who eats and who doesn't. They can decide who has livelihood and who doesn't. And don't worry about it, because you're always going to have somebody say, well, white people work in those stores too. Well, we already know that employment discrimination happens. So let me tell you something. If Rebecca and Jimmy's store gets shut down, Rebecca and Jimmy's going to be transferred. Stop playing with me. They're going to be transferred. What else is going on at Target? So you go to their website. They have something that says they're going to stay open. They like to use these buzzwords. Stay open. And what that means is we're getting comfortable with being uncomfortable about diversity. We're giving everyone access to the same opportunities. You see that language? So you go on their site and it says stay open on their diversity site. Stay open. That's when you're getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. So we're getting comfortable with being with all you Negroes we're going to have to hire. We're going to get comfortable with all you black people that's complaining that we're going to have to hire. We're going to have you guys as managers. We're going to have you guys in our marketing department. We're going to have you guys all around. You know we uncomfortable when it's more than two of y'all in the same room. But we got to get comfortable with that because we want no more lawsuits. We don't want no more lawsuits. Giving everyone access to the same opportunities. We know that's a lie. But they want to show the world, starting with the honeypot, that that's what we're doing. You see, they gave her an opportunity. It wasn't earned. It wasn't earned. They gave it to her because they had to. They gave it to her because they have an obligation to the federal government, the EEOC. They had to do it. So they will always find one of us out the bunch to give us an opportunity. And they're going to hand us the script to read so that the EEOC can see we're doing what's supposed to do. See, it's like, you like her, right? Black girl. Yeah, she's really nice. She's black and she's a woman. She's black and she's a woman. Two birds, one stone. Black and woman. Civil Rights Act, 1964. We're doing good, right? Right? Federal government, right? Chicago, right? We're doing well. We're doing well. We love it. We love it. And she's like, well, I want to say that I want opportunities for all girls to have it. No. Don't say all girls. Say black girls. Say black girls. Because we want all black girls to have access to the same opportunities. So you say black girls. Set her up. Set her up. So she's excited. I can say black girls. Oh, this is nice. I can say black girls because we all know what the code is. We all know whenever they give us an opportunity, give us a job, give us some money, give us a TV slot, give us an Oprah situation. We already know whenever they give us an opportunity, we're not allowed to we're not allowed to say the word black no more. We can't talk nothing black. We can't talk black to them ever again. So we walk around on eggshells, right? We all know the secret nod. When we see one of our sisters and brothers, we can't stop and mingle with them too much because the minute we start talking to one of our sisters and brothers, you see heads coming around the corner. The black girls are talking. They ain't got to say it. We know what it is. So we know we can't congregate in circles because they're not yet comfortable with being uncomfortable. Like Target says, is getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. They're not yet comfortable with it. So we already know our secret head nods. When we see a black person, what we all do? What's going on, brother? What's going on, sister? Hey, beautiful. And we keep it moving. We already know. We already know. So when she read that script, that wasn't her script. Target wrote that script for her. And she followed suit. And I'm not mad. She was in her suit. She was doing her thing. She don't know no better. I ain't mad. So what does Brian Cornell, he's the chairman and CEO of Target, Brian Cornell, he says 75% of the U.S. population lives within 10 miles of a Target store. Our team needs to reflect that population. Y'all wasn't saying that before? Oh, I forgot. The EEOC is making you say that. So Caroline Wenger, she's the VP, the Vice President, and Chief Culture, Diversity, and Inclusion Officer. Ooh, big title. She says, people choose whether or not they're going to engage with us with their money. We must be connected to our potential customers. So in a nutshell, I mean, she said a lot more than that, but in a nutshell, basically what she's saying is, we don't want to lose the money. So wherever the money is, we go, and we just got to make sure we keep them people comfortable to keep them spending. See, everyone knows that it boils down to money. Everybody knows that we better play nice with the EEOC, not because we don't want to spend any more money with lawsuits, but we want to keep black people and other people that qualify under the 1964 Civil Rights Act. We want to keep them happy and spending their money, because that's the only reason why we're going to get fatter and fatter and be grittier and grittier, is when all you consumers come in here and consume our products and leave your money on the table before you go. That's the only thing we want you to do. But we ain't on code. We ain't on code. We've been telling you guys this forever. You want to hurt them, hit them in their pockets. You want to hurt them, stop spending the money. But we're not disciplined enough to do it. There was a study that came out a few years ago. And do you know that this study, you can go ahead and look it up. Just Google what I'm about to say and it will come up. I forgot the name of the study, but go ahead and look it up. I ain't telling y'all no lie. It said in 2020, which is right now, the spending power of African Americans will go from $1.2 trillion to $1.4 trillion. It is going to go up. It is going to increase. So Target knows they want to keep us happy. So of course, we're going to see Black History Month at Target. We're going to see all these things, not because they really are being inclusive. They want their pockets to remain fat. They want their pockets to remain fat. Let me tell you something. You can go on Target's website and you can pull their 2019, last year, just a few months ago. You can go ahead and pull their company stats. And even though they have all this stuff going on, this lawsuit was settled back in 2007. It is 13 years later in 2020. 13 years later. And do you know that majority of their over 50%, and one case is over 60%, majority of their managers and their upper managements are still white? Majority of their board is still white? This is not me making it up. This is their statistics that they have to report by law. It's all public information now. And they'll let you know where they're improving at, where they got to get better at. So there's a lot of people that they got to hire. There's a lot of positions that got to be available because the EEOC says it does. So they went out there and they created these business councils. That's another thing that they did as a result of this lawsuit. They created these business councils. So they have the African American Business Council, the 1964 Civil Rights Act, piece of cake. They have the Asian Business Council, the 1964 Civil Rights Act, cake. They have the Hispanic Business Council, the 1964 Civil Rights Act, cake. They have the Military Business Council. They have the Pride, which is the LGBTQ plus Business Council, the 1964 Civil Rights Act, cake. They have the Women's Business Council. See, this is all the result of the EEOC. This is all what it is. And then they started to create these partnerships. And they created partnerships with these organizations such as the American Indian College Fund, also known as the American Indian College Fund, I guess. They have the APIA Scholarship Fund, which is the Asian and Pacific Islander American Scholarship Fund. They have the GLSEN, which is Affirming Learning Environments for the LGBTQ plus community. They have the HRC, which is the Human Rights Campaign, which is about educating people on LGBTQ plus community. They have the MEDA, MEDA, which is the Media Company for Minorities. There go that catch-all word again, minorities in Minnesota. They have the Mission Continues, which is for veterans. And do you know the Mission Continues? That is the only website that looked like it was all inclusive. They had all types of veterans, black, white, young, old, all types of veterans. That was the only website out of all these websites I went through. That was the only one that speaks to everybody. But nonetheless, I digress. They have Mission Continues, which is for veterans as well. They have NAMA, which is the National African American Museum, the Smithsonian, So that's supposed to be our piece of pie, piece of the cake. The African American Museum in DC. They have the NUL, which is the National Urban League. And the reason why I'm laughing at like the National Urban League and the museum, you see, this is just my opinion. And I'm going to get on out of here, then I'm done, right? This is my opinion when it comes to these things. See, the National Urban League, the United Negro College Fund, which is another one of their partners, these two things are allegedly specifically for African Americans. I say allegedly because they're not. They're really not. See, everybody else's website, whether it's the American Indian, they let you know it's for American Indian. The Asian and Pacific Islanders, they let you know it's for the Asians. For the gay community, they let you know it's for the LGBTQ plus community. For the veterans, they let you know it's for the veterans. For the Unidos US, they let you know directly it's for the Hispanic community. Okay? They let you know, all these partners on their websites, they let you know who the target audience is. Oh no, but not the United Negro College Fund and not the Urban League. You see, they got to say for African American, it's all people in underserved communities. For African American and people of color. For African Americans and the minorities. See, we are the only people that are so uncomfortable saying that something is for us, because we know when we say that something is for us, we get backlash. We know when we take a stance and we say we're here to help our brothers and sisters, everyone says, oh, that's racist and that's not fair. No one says anything to the Jewish organizations. No one says anything to the Asian organizations. No one says anything to the Polish organizations, the Italian organizations. No one says anything to the gay organizations. No one says anything to them. But the minute we put African American in it, we have to have a conjunction, and people of color, and people in underserved communities, and people who are marginalized, and minorities, and women and minorities. We have to add everything else in so everyone else can say, I can get a piece of your cake. See, they get to eat their own goddamn cake and then come and eat ours too. Because we always got to share. We always got to share. Every time I turn around, did they just say black only? That's racist. Black only? Don't give them any funding. Black only? Who's in that organization? Don't get them any promotions. Black only? Oh no, we're going to shut you down. So to avoid that, we got some scaredy folks in our community that likes to put that comma in everybody else. We're going to send African Americans to college and everybody else. See, we think this is a win. It can be. It can be a win if we play that position correctly. It absolutely can be a win. But as it stands right now, when we have so many of us who are off code, it is not a win. It is not a win. Until we are not afraid to fight for what we want and what is rightfully ours, until we're not afraid to be strategic in everything we do, including politically, until we are not afraid of saying, you don't scare me, until we are not afraid of saying, go ahead, don't promote me, I'll sue you, until we are not afraid to fight back and hit this system in its pockets, everyone will continue to step on our goddamn heads. I am so sick and tired of being sick and tired. Right? There are no more excuses that we can say to each other for why we are not moving forward collectively. There's nothing else that I can hear from anybody else anymore because I'm tired. I don't want to hear it. So somebody would say, all right, Dr. Sean, we hear all of that, but give us some solutions. Well, everyone who's been in this critical thinking community knows I always give solutions. So I hope you still got your pen and paper out, because I'm going to give you 5 things that we must do to take advantage of this opportunity. I'm going to give you guys 5 things that we must do to take advantage of this opportunity. Do not let this go down in history as a loss. Because you think it's a win right now, but if we do nothing, it will be a loss. Everybody else will benefit off of Target's racism and discrimination, just like any other company. Everybody else will benefit from it but us, because we are so proud of being proud, and we're so angry that many of us are not mobilized. Many of us are paralyzed in our analysis. We are not moving forward. So here's the 5 things that you can do. First of all, since we already know that the EEOC is on their asses, y'all need to start applying to their management positions. Don't apply to be no goddamn cashiers. Don't apply to sweep nobody's damn floors or clean nobody's goddamn toilets. Apply to their management positions. Flood that company with black applications in their management positions. Play your part. Make your move. Make your move. Right? Go ahead. Apply to them positions. Don't be so proud that you don't want to have nothing to do with Target. You better. You better. Apply to those positions. Apply to their marketing positions. Apply to their management positions. Apply to their headquarters and their corporate positions. Get up in there. Make sure you decorate those places with your black face, because they got a lawsuit on their asses. And if you don't do it, everybody else that gets a piece of that 1964 Civil Rights Act pie will do it. And you're going to be without. You're going to be with the crumbs again, because you're going to drag your feet. Apply to those positions. Number 2. Apply for all grants and scholarships that they're giving out just for you being black, or just for you being in one of those statuses they talk about. If you're a woman, boom, you got a double whammy. If you're a woman and you're gay, damn, you got 3. If you're black, a woman, and gay, I'm talking about, you got 3. If you're black and you're woman, you got a double. If you're black and you male, you got a double. If you black, male, and gay, you got a triple. Y'all better use it. Y'all better use it. Apply for those scholarships and your grants. Tell your kids to get off their asses, sit down, and apply to these scholarships and grants. And don't be afraid to put that I am an African-American gay woman. I am an African-American gay man. I am an African-American single mother. I am an African-American hardworking father. I am an African-American veteran. You better take advantage of everything. I am an African-American disabled man. I am an African-American disabled woman. I am a 54 years old African-American woman. I am a 72-year-old African-American man. You better play all those categories under the Civil Rights Act and apply. Let them deny you. File another lawsuit. You better play chess. You better play chess. Don't be too cute to work at Target. Don't be too cute. There's a reason why they don't hire us in those management positions. Those management positions come with salary, exempt employees, salary, benefits, vacation, sick, holiday, tuition reimbursement. Man, look, you better play that position. Shit, if I wasn't in my role, I'd be at Target too. Walking around that place like, what? How you doing? Yes. VP, how are you doing? Oh, there's a promotion available in diversity and inclusion. Oh, there's only one black person in that department. Oh, I'm going to apply. That's your number 2. Number 3. Y'all better get happy with suing. Y'all better get comfortable with suing. Y'all better start filing those EEOC complaints, because precedent has been set. Y'all better get your complaints together. You've been discriminated. The only thing you need is 2. You have a class action lawsuit. You better start filing. Go to the EEOC. Y'all ain't got to find no attorney. That's what we always want to do. Anybody know a good employment attorney? Them attorneys only want to win when they only want to take you when they know for a fact that they're going to win. You better go to the EEOC, a federal government, and put that complaint on a record. Let them file suit against these corporations. I don't care what corporation it is, including Target. If their asses don't want to hire you, if their asses don't want to give out no scholarships and grants, and you ask to see those recipients of the scholarship and the grants, and none of them look like you better file a suit. You better get comfortable with going to the EEOC. Shit. I did. I had an EEOC case, and I won it too. I surely did out of Syracuse, New York. I ain't lying. If I'm lying, I'm flying. I won that suit too. Got the papers to prove it. See, I always knew about the EEOC. You look at me the wrong goddamn way and I feel uncomfortable, you're going to have a charge. Don't play with me. I'm not the one. And I would stay there with a smile and my suit. Pull up with my purse and my shoes and my car. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Y'all better get comfortable. Number 4, be intentional about your spending. Be intentional about your spending. You see, because the one thing that we do, not all of us, but too many of us, the one thing that we do, I got to tell you this. See, we know about these things and then we ignore it. We think that everybody else is going to take care of it. No, we all have to be a part of it. We all have to be intentional about our spending. Because if you don't go support the Honey Pot and other businesses like hers, if you don't go support it, you know what they're going to say? We tried EEOC, federal government. We tried. They're not interested. They don't want it. No matter how much money we spend in this advertising, they're not buying these products. They want the white people products. So, I mean, why we got to find these suppliers? Why are you making sure that we give equal access to opportunities to all these suppliers and nobody wants their stuff? So you got to be intentional about your spending. This is not a time to be worrying about somebody's personal life. Oh, she's a swirler. Oh, she's a mammy and a bad witch. Oh, he like white woman. Don't buy his stuff. We do some stupid shit. We do. We do. That's your personal issue. This is bigger than your personal issue. This is a chess move. This is bigger than your personal feelings. It's a chess move. Because when the EEOC says they have satisfied their court decree, you better believe it. All of that issue is going to disappear because we've seen it happen with affirmative action. That's how the colorblind ideology takes over and then everybody erases race and they go back to business as usual and you wonder why you can't get promotions. You wonder why you can't get your products in stores. You wonder why you can't get a job. You wonder why nobody is catering to you. Be intentional about your spending. Be intentional about everything that you do. If you know that the lawsuit is on their asses, you make sure they uphold their end of the bargain by you upholding yours. And then the last thing I got to say, and I'm out of here, is now that you know that they have to train their supervisors on discrimination, on diversity, on record keeping, on hiring, on job retention, record retention, you name it. The fact that they have to now train their supervisors, who's going to train them? The doubles that discriminated in the first place, who's going to be the trainers? So the one thing you got to do is be the one to submit your proposals to train. You got to submit your proposals to go in and do your professional development. There is money there for you. What's your cost? $25,000? No biggie. Put it on a paper. They're going to pay it. I promise you that. You got to be intentional. I told you it's out there. There is a lawsuit that the EEOC has brought to them and they have settled and they have agreements that they have to fulfill. So there's a lot of you guys out there that know how to publicly speak. There's a lot of you guys out there that are educators. There's a lot of you guys out there that are trainers and you're just dying for somebody to give you an opportunity. Well, you got it with Target. You got it with Target. And if they don't hire you to come in and do their diversity trainings for their staff, file a lawsuit on discrimination. It's as easy as that. You better learn how to play chess. You better learn how to play chess. Woo! That's all I got. I ain't got nothing else for y'all. I say, yeah, that was nice. That was nice. So to all my non-melanated people that like to pay attention to the community of critical thinkers here on Dr. Shauna's page, I hope you learned something. Doubt it. But I hope you learned something before you go attacking the honeypot woman. I hope you learned something. And I hope we have learned something, that they will always use us as a pawn on the chessboard. But you got to know how to get that pawn piece promoted. You got to learn how to get that pawn piece from a pawn to a knight. From a knight to a bishop. You better learn how to work it. you better learn how to work it. That's all I have for y'all tonight. Thank you so much to my sisters and brothers for the donations. Thank you so much for the donations that you got out there. I appreciate that. To my Facebook community, I couldn't see anything y'all was saying, but I want to say peace and blessings to all of you guys who are on here. I love every last one of you guys. As always, share the video. Make sure to go to the YouTube channel, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you can be notified when I come on live, because we are a community of critical thinkers, and when I come on live, I got something critical to tell you guys. I just want you guys to think these are my views and my opinions. You got to do your own research. But if nothing else, don't sit down there and try to research for too goddamn long. You got some work to do. You got some applications to submit. You got some proposals to write. You got some grants and scholarships to apply to. You better get to moving and make sure you put your race on there. I don't give a hell if you got to send in a picture. They better know they got your picture. But anyway, peace and blessings, my sisters and brothers. Like me on Facebook at Dr. Shauna. Like me on YouTube at Dr. Shauna. But most importantly, share the video. Thank you for all the donations on my YouTube channel. Anybody on Facebook who wants to send a donation, you can use Cash App and send it to Dr. Shauna, DrShonna. Of course, you got to put the dollar sign. I appreciate every last one of you. And I think that Thursday, I'm going to be back on, I believe, with another juicy, juicy topic. Peace and blessings.